Hey, it's Valley, and today I'll be showing my first place undefeated deck profile from this past weekend. I managed to go 8-0 at the Olathe, Kansas Regional playing Branded Dracotail. Just like last time, I'll go over the deck list at the beginning, and then towards the end, I'll explain some of the card choices and the matchups. So for the Dracotail monster names, I played 3 copies of Luke, 3 Femina, 2 Mulu, 1 Pan, 1 Rugla, and 1 5. Moving on to the branded monster names, I played 3 Blazing Cartesia and 2 Albaz. For the hand traps, I played 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 Nibiru, 3 Fubulos, 3 Effect Veiler, and 1 Magnemite. For the spell cards, I played 3 Rahu, 3 Ketu, 2 Branded Fusion, standard, and then I played all 3 trap cards, Horn, Sting, and Flame, in the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, I played 3 copies of Arthalion, and then the rest I all played 1 copy of. I played Gulamel, Mirror Jade, Albion, Titaniclad, Lubellion, Abelenidus, Sanctifier, Sprind, Chaos, Secretarion, Spirit, and of course, Erratic Seals. Finally, for the side deck, I played 3 Bell, 3 Droll and Lockbird, 2 Fenrir, 2 Phantasme, 1 Jizikuru, and 1 Perulia. Finally, I played 2 Solemn Strike and 1 Solemn Judgment. Anyway, so for some of the card choices, there's things I need to explain. So first up is the weird side deck thing where I played 2 1-ofs and then a bunch of 2-ofs. I played 2 Strike, 2 Phantasme, and 2 Fenrir. When coming up for the side deck for this event, I really wanted a bunch of wide coverage. So I felt like the Jizikuru was mandatory because I was expecting to see some Lunalight. I ended up not playing against Lunalight, so this card was never really necessary. I did side it in a couple times, but never saw it. It just wasn't really a great card. And with hindsight, this card maybe was a worthwhile cut because the Titaniclad is already an out to the Lunalight Dancer. But, oh well, I ended up playing it anyways. It was just kind of useless. And then the Perulia, I wanted to play a 1-of card I could side in against things like Canine. Maybe it's something that I can draw into and it can just sort of win me the game going second or first. So for a Vanquish Soul variant of that deck. Again, I didn't end up seeing any Canine during the event. Otherwise, for pure Canine, I did play against 1 Dracotail Canine deck, where I did side this in, but I didn't see it. And I ended up playing a bunch of these 2-ofs because I really wanted that wide coverage. However, I do think, in hindsight, the better move would have been to play at least 3 of one of these and then cut the Perulia. For example, 3 Fenrir, 3 Phantasme, or 3 Solemn Strike I think would have been much better because all of those cards were great today. Or yesterday, I should say. The other thing I would want to change about the deck is the Dracotail names. I played very few. I do not regret the Pan or the Rugula, which I'll talk about in a second. But the one change I would make is to Mululu. Every time I drew this card and then normal summoned it, it was phenomenal. It was truly great. Genuinely, I think most of the time I was normal summoning it, I was probably winning that game. I don't know why, but it just seems that a lot of players don't want to interact with it. With Imperm, they want to hold it for their Arthalion. And then by the time it's already resolving, I don't really care about their Arthalion. So I think maximizing this is the way to go from there, and then cutting down on 1 Effect Veiler in the main deck. The one thing I do not regret is playing the 1-of names for the Arugula and the Pan. I think these are the correct ratios for what I was trying to get out of the deck, mainly because I was trying to minimize the amount of Dracotail just non-hands, where you end up bricking on the Pan or the Arugula because you don't have a way to fuse, or maybe you'd rather see a hand trap because it interrupts the opponent better. But unless you're going to see the Femina on turn 0, that's when I really want to have Pan or Arugula. But I'm willing to compromise on that just for more hand traps or more Cartesias, because that's more what I prefer to open, as those cards will typically do something on their own, while these will not. So I definitely don't regret not upping the numbers on any of these. I vastly prefer it over playing multiple copies. Other than that, as far as matchups, I played against 3 Dracotail decks. One of them was a Canine variant. The other 2, I believe, were Pier, but there's a chance that they were unbranded and just didn't see the engine. I played against 1 Pier Yummy and 1 Pier Mitsurugi. And then I played against 2 Mitsurugi Yummies and then 1, like I said, the 1 Pier. And then finally, I played against 1 Malice in the finals. So overall, I played against a lot of meta during this event. Not many rogue decks, mainly meta decks, which I think played to my advantage because I was much more prepared for those decks going into the event. And I feel like Dracotail has a weird scenario where it's pretty solid against a lot of the meta decks, but it kind of struggles on the weirder rogue decks a lot of the time. Anyway, I'm very happy with how the event turned out. Going 8-0 is absolutely insane for me. I feel like I beat significantly better players than me by a mile. and I think that's crazy. My last regional I went to was that remote duel regional where I top 8'd, and now I've won a regional after that. So hopefully I can continue to go up and up. I'm going to keep trying, keep going for that. Other than that, I do have one last thing I got to say. A couple things, actually. One, you can check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/ItzVali if you'd like. I stream Master Duel almost every day, although definitely less than I used to. And then lastly, I just want to say shout out to all the people who loaned me cards for the event. You guys rock. Without you guys, I would not have had that third Arthelion, and that would have sucked because that third card was very, very relevant. Anyway, so that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye!